Take it away.
Okay, welcome everyone. It's almost too early to say happy holidays, but given today's topic, I decided I'm going to say it anyway. So happy holidays to everyone. We are delighted to have you join us for Dimensions and Travel's Fairytale Christmas Markets of Europe virtual event with AMA Waterways. This is the 13th in our agency series of virtual events about intriguing destinations and unique ways to travel. My name is Diana St. James, and I'm one of the owners of Dimensions and Travel. Before we get started, I'd like to cover a couple of housekeeping points. All of you are in listen-only mode, so the Amazon doorbell ring or the barking dog will not be heard by anyone else. And you will have an opportunity to ask questions. If you want to click on the questions box and put your questions in there, we will be facilitating a Q&A at the end. But anytime during the presentation now, please feel free to post your questions. We are so glad that you're here. All of us are missing travel so much, and I know you do too. Dimensions and Travel has been in business for 42 years. Jill Romano and I took over the ownership of the company in 2007, back when we thought the recession was the worst thing that could happen to us. But the company was started by three wonderful, innovative women who initially marketed their travel services by going door to door with bundt cakes and handing out those little plastic litter bags that you would hang on the door handle of your car window crank, which was the height of technology at the time. And haven't we come a long way since then with having these virtual events like this? But these events do give us a good way to go somewhere right now. They keep the spirit of travel alive in all of us. And so today we're going to take you on a virtual journey to the incredible Christmas markets of Hungary, Austria, Germany, Slovenia, and maybe a little of the Czech Republic too. I did a European Christmas markets river cruise with my family 3 years ago, and it was one of the best holiday experiences that we've ever had. I hope to go again in 2021 with a small group from Dimensions and Travel, but more on that later. We have two special guests from AMA Waterways joining us. I'll start by introducing Brian Rademacher. I have known Brian for over 20 years. Currently, he's our business development director from AMA Waterways. He's been our representative with other cruise lines, but I think he has truly found his home with AMA. And I know you'll see his love for the company today.
Yeah.
Our travel advisor team loves it whenever Brian comes in and does training. He advocates for us, and I'm sure he would, as he does for all of you too, as our clients, to take care of issues, and he's a true professional. Brian, welcome, and I'll let you introduce our other very special guest.
Well, thank you, Diana, and thank you to Jill in absentia. Greatly appreciate that very kind introduction. And yes, I consider you a real friend, as I do Jill and all the staff there at Dimensions and Travel that I've been working with these many years. It's hard to believe. Time flies by. But just an absolute pleasure, certainly, to work with you all. And again, thank you for the opportunity to come and do a series of webinars, as we've actually done a series, and we've kind of, I think, saved the best for last here today, because, yeah, very excited to introduce, and I'm privileged and honored, actually, and you're right, Diana, I have found my home. After 30 plus years in this industry, which, again, long time, I feel like I came home to AMA Waterways. It's just, and you'll feel that too from our wonderful, I say, heart and soul of our company. She has titles, co-founder, co-owner, all those things, but to me, her best title, the title that fits the most, is the heart and soul of AMA Waterways. And so you'll be really, I think, thrilled to hear from Christine Karst. I'll introduce her now and let her do the presentation. We do have a little video upcoming, but Christine, welcome. So glad to have you today. And I know you're so busy doing all these armchair events, but we're very gracious that we're grateful you took time to join us.
Thank you so much, Brian. Diana, thank you so much. We truly appreciate everything what we do, what you do. We couldn't be anything without you. And of course, I wish I could do this webinar with you from one of our ships, just cruising along the beautiful Christmas markets on the Rhine or the Danube. But you know, we save it for next year, right? And then it will be the best celebration ever that we will have on all these rivers, because we are all waiting so much to come back together again. So you all will hear my accent. I was not born in California. But let's go back to the host, or should I just continue?
You can continue. Actually, you know what? Let's do this, Christine. How about we show the quick little video vignette to whet people's appetite, and then we'll talk about where you come from, because that is absolutely critical and crucial to the whole presentation. So I'm going to quickly show this this video. Bear with me. I think you'll like it. And here we go. So hopefully that whet your appetite a little bit. And Christine, now you can talk about your beautiful hometown.
Okay, now you hear me again. So
yes.
Again, but of course, before I get to this one, I would really like to say it is all about the people and our human connection. Everyone who works with us, we are so fortunate that we were able to surround us with the best people. Everyone who has the same genuine approach to customer service, to the love of, you know, travel and having you and showing you all the world. And I think this is all part of it and part of, you know, our success together with you. We are very passionate, obviously, about everything what we do, about all our destination. But I can also tell you, dear guests, you are in the best hands with your travel advisors, with Diana, with her team, because especially in those times, that really things are changing constantly, you know, they will be your guiding angels. And I don't want to say, I cannot say too much about it, because it is so important that you have your travel advisor right next to you. So, and now let's say where I'm coming from. So I was born in the city of Dresden in Germany. And Dresden used to be part of the former Eastern Germany, but it also has the oldest Christmas market tradition. So the Christmas markets there date back more than 400 years. And it also, Dresden was voted right now as the most beautiful Christmas market in Germany. Now it is located on a different river, the river we cannot cruise because of global warming, issues with the water level. But I just wanted to show you this because the picture is stunningly beautiful. It's part of the heritage. And of course, when you come with us to the Danube River or the Rhine River, you will experience the most amazing Christmas markets. Hopefully, you know, back next year when everything should be back to normal. So let's go to the next slide. I'm very, very proud actually of my family. So, and whenever I go to Germany, and I used to go in December for the Christmas market time, and because it is the most peaceful time of the year, that's when families are really truly coming together. Then it was a must to go to one of the Christmas markets and a must to enjoy a glass of the hot mulled wine. Now, the traditional hot mulled wine is usually the dark red wine that you probably all know. But today there are so many different hot wines, different flavors, apples, cherries, plum, apricot, so many different ones. And I encourage you maybe not to try them all the same evening, but when you walk your way through the different Christmas markets in the different towns, try the different flavors. You will not regret it. It's part of the tradition. So let's go to the next. And when we welcome you on board, and that's of course what we like to do again, then you come on board our ship and it's all festively decorated. There is not just one Christmas tree like the one on the left side you see when you enter our ship, our lounge area and the lobby, but there are so many Christmas trees all over. And the best thing is we ask you to decorate those trees together with us. And you can go on a pickle hunt. It's so much fun. You can really prove yourself or just do what you like the same way you would do it when you are at home decorating your Christmas tree together with your family. Your captain is welcoming you on board. We have many, many gala dinners on board, our chain de rôtisseur dinner as well. The whole ship looks so festive. And you see on the right side, actually, our little ones. Now, I have to say, Christmas is a time for families also to come together. And we have prepared so many wonderful shore excursions, all included for different type of ages, for different interests, so many wonderful meals that you as a family will feel so comfortable on board. And, over the entire last 9 or 10 months, you all had to go shopping, grocery shopping, cooking all the meals at home, cleaning all your dishes. So the time comes that you leave it to all of us and our crew on board. You deserve to just sit down for all these festive holiday dinners and, enjoy it together as the family and not having all the other stress around. And talking about these wonderful holiday dishes, I know on our next slide, we show the different culinary traditions, starting from the goose. In Germany, we usually have the goose on either December 24 in the evening or the first holiday, December 25 or 26. We also, pretty much everyone in Europe is consuming a lot of gingerbread. So that's what you see here in the middle upper part. And we do not count the calories because you, if you want, can walk a lot along the rivers where we take you through the cities. So you don't have to worry. It's delicious, but not many calories. And then, of course, we enjoy our hot mullet wines on board. We serve them to you on board when you come back from your shore excursions. For your smaller family members, of course, also the non-alcoholic punches, the warm hot chocolates, and so many more delicacies. And the Black Forest tart, this cake, is also part of our holiday tradition. Wonderful sausages, different types of fruits and spices. So it really warms my heart to see this picture because that's what I would like to do and have right now after this webinar. But so let's get started with the Danube. So if I'm not sure how many of you have been on river cruises, obviously the ones who have been, I'm sure you are in love with everything. But if you haven't, the Danube is usually the river for the first time river cruiser because it combines the beautiful European capitals, Budapest in Hungary, Vienna in Austria, Bratislava in Slovakia, with the romantic Wachau Valley. That is a wine growing area along the Danube between actually, I would say Dürnstein, around Dürnstein, shortly after Vienna, going to almost the German border. And this is an amazing area to, enjoy the nature, enjoy beautiful castles, beautiful scenery, before we come then to Passau in Germany, with the largest organ in Europe as well. So all the different ports and cities are quite different from each other, and every port has so much to offer. But let's first talk about the ship, your ship, the beautiful Amma Magna. It is a very unique ship because it offers the luxury of space, and space has become so important in today's times because this ship was built with the double whiz. It was Rudy's dream. Rudy is our president. He is also called the godfather of river cruising because he pretty much, when he was young, started to build his first river raft on the Amazon River in Peru and Brazil. And from there, he came back and made river cruising his life. And of course, he was born in Vienna on the Danube. He knows the rivers in and out. So with the double whiz of this ship, we were able to build staterooms that have the size of a suite on a normal river cruise ship. The average stateroom size is 355 square feet. The suites are over 460 square feet. The owner's suite is 710 square feet. And even the lowest cabin category is over 200 square feet. Most of the cabins on middle and upper deck have a full balcony. And again, that's what you want to have in today's times. You want to enjoy the balcony, the fresh air. Even so, every cabin has its own air conditioning unit. So we never recirculate air through the ship. We have our own air cooling system in our lounge, in our lobby, in our different restaurants. So we have always invested in the latest state of art and technology, and that of course pays off now. We are also very proud that on this ship, we can offer you 4 different dining venues. That's also unheard of for a river cruise ship. So you have your main restaurant, al fresco. We have our chef's table restaurant, where we serve you a very different tasting menu, 15 smaller dishes, all accompanied with the finest local wines from the region, which in general, we include all the wines, the beers, from the local region we are cruising through with lunch and dinner. And of course, then we have also our Jimmy's Wine Bar restaurant, named after the late Jimmy Murphy, one of our godfathers. So let's go to the next slide. And yeah, when you embark, of course, your ship, and I thought that the direction is from Bilshofen to Budapest, right?
It
So
is.
we are starting from the back.
That's correct. But nonetheless, so we'll wing it here. But yes.
No problem at all, because it doesn't matter which way you fly in. So when you embark your ship, you unpack, you get familiar with the ship, with everything. Your crew is greeting you like family. The first night is, of course, our welcome champagne reception. But all the other nights, we will have our complimentary sip and sail cocktail hour, the hour prior to dinner. And that's especially important during the Christmas time, because it is getting dark a little bit earlier, around 4 to 5 o'clock. That's also when the lights go on all over the place. And that is then so festive. When you have come back from your included shore excursion, sit down, relax, have your drink, socialize with all the other guests on board, and then from there we go to our dinner. And Budapest is opening actually the Christmas markets in the middle of November. So obviously when you go December 8 to 15, you're going right in the peak of the Christmas time season. But if that date doesn't work well for you, you can also come earlier and maybe even celebrate Thanksgiving on board our ship and have the family together there. So Budapest opens the Christmas markets very early. And let's go from Budapest to the next. And that's, of course, the capital of Austria, Vienna. So Vienna has more than 20 different Christmas markets, and we cannot show them all to you. So, well, you have your choice of different shore excursions, where we have a city tour prepared for you by the Lux Motor Coach. You can also go with us in the evening. We have an evening Christmas market excursion as well for you. You have culinary tours there. If the weather is still very beautiful, we even have bike tours prepared for you, hiking tours. So there is so much for every taste, for every age. And I mentioned families already. Maybe if you go with the family, you split on different shore excursions, and then you come all together for the meals and share your experiences. And by the way, we also offer you gentle and active and regular paced shore excursions. So in case you cannot walk that much, that's not a problem at all. We have a guide for you that is just going with you as far as you can. And maybe if it's just to have a glass of the hot wine on the Christmas market. So all the Christmas markets are very different. Different handicrafts, different sausages, culinary traditions. Now, Vienna, obviously, I got my Christmas market hot wine mug from this one. This is the Rathausplatz in front of the City Hall that you see there. But every Christmas market will have different Christmas mugs, and we talk a little bit later about that. So let's go to the next slide. And from Vienna, we are still in Austria. We are cruising to the beautiful city of Linz. And in Linz, we offer you again a full set of different included shore excursions. Now, if you want to go to Salzburg for a full day, we take you there for a full day. And believe me, the city is so medieval, historical, has so much to offer. On top, the beautiful Christmas market, you might want to spend the entire day there. But if you just want to have a little taste of everything, you can come with us in the morning to the included Salzburg Linz walking tour. Then you come back to the ship. We have a festive brunch on board. And then after brunch, we take you to Salzburg. It's about an hour and a quarter away from the ship in Linz. And then you get a shorter tour through the city of Salzburg. Again, very festive at any time of the year. It's also the birthplace of Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And yeah, especially when it's getting dark a little bit and the lights go on and the church bells are ringing, that is just such a romantic time to be in this city and to be together with the locals. And now let's go to the next slide, because we are cruising from Austria and cross the border into Germany. And in Germany, our port of call will be Passau. The city of Passau is located on 3 different rivers. Of course, you know the Danube. That's where we are docked. But we also have the Inn River and the Ilz River, all coming together here. And where our ship is docked, you only walk about 5 minutes into town. So again, you have the choice to join your included city tour. You can go on a hike with one of our guides to really have a picture postcard perfect view down to the city of Passau and all 3 rivers. And you can, of course, culinary tours, or you can even step out on your own, because I mentioned the big cathedral with the largest organ, and with a little bit of luck, especially during Christmas time, you can actually sit down and be part of one of those beautiful organ concerts. Very festive. I always get goosebumps when I'm there and I sit down. It is for me part of my Christmas tradition. So let's go from Passau and the beautiful scenery to our final port of call, or actually this is where you would embark on December 8th. That's the city of Vilshofen in Bavaria in Germany. Now Vilshofen has now a long tradition for us. because most of our ships have been christened in Wilshofen. So we have developed such a great relationship with the mayor of the city, the entire town. We actually have donated pipes for the organ for one of their churches. We have done renewal of the vow in one of the churches there for guests who came on board and asked us if we can do it. So wonderful, wonderful relationships. And in Wilshofen, we also have our miniature Munich Oktoberfest. So this will be actually your welcome, where the local musicians, I would say, really the big shots of Wilshofen, if we are lucky, even the mayor, are coming to meet and greet you. We will have some local beer. We will have some pretzels. You have the beer queen there. She will be all dressed up in a dirndl and have a great big party before we go back to the ship for our welcome reception, champagne reception, and the welcome dinner. So lots of delights, both ashore, on board the ship. You will not have one boring minute and moment, because we want you to really enjoy the festive atmosphere in my home country, in every part, no matter if it's Wilshofen, if it's Passau, if it's Linz, if it's Salzburg, Vienna, in Slovakia or Budapest. So much to see for you. And of course, what we see actually is quite a trend, that when you fly all the way to Europe, and from the West Coast, it is about San Francisco to Frankfurt or Munich, a 12-hour flight, and then you would connect to either Munich or well, if you stop in Munich and then of course you come on board in Wilshofen, it will be 12 hours plus the transfer to our ship. Many of you will think it would be nice to extend the 7-night river cruise, and we offer you beautiful extensions. For instance, you can join us and come with us to Prague, 3 nights in Prague, or you come with us to Munich. But if you go to Prague with us, we will stop on the transfer in this old medieval city of Regensburg. And Regensburg has also for many one of the most fascinating medieval Christmas markets. Now this Christmas market is Turn and Taxes. It's in front of a castle, and there is an entrance fee, but Amar Waterways will pay the entrance fee for you. So it's all included. The advantage is it's so medieval and not so many people will be there because of the fee. So it's not as crowded, and especially in those times, it really is a big benefit to experience this Christmas market. Also, our cruise managers will be your hosts from the beginning to the end. So you will meet your cruise manager in your very first port, and this could be either your land pre-program, and then of course cruise manager goes with you to the ship. And if you then extend as a post-land extension, maybe in Budapest, your cruise manager will be there with you, will guide you, will give you all the suggestions and advices where to dine. When you stay longer in Budapest, which museums maybe you want to visit. So it's a concierge from the beginning to the end. And here's another slide just showing you the different pre and post land programs that we have prepared for you. All magical cities in Europe. And I just want to give you also some hints. I want you to be prepared. So when you go and see, go to the different Christmas markets and see the vendors and the different stalls, many of the vendors only accept cash. They will not accept credit cards for smaller purchases. Like if you maybe want to purchase a nutcracker, or just some Christmas ornaments, some Christmas candles, some roasted almonds. That doesn't cost a lot. It's actually very, very cheap in Germany. Then have your good amount of cash ready. You can exchange it at the airport. There are ATMs. Of course, we can also exchange a small amount on board. For larger purchases, then they will accept credit cards as well. I talked about families. So starting from 2016 on, Amaviola, Amastella, 2 ships we were building then, we started to build connecting staterooms for our families. So some of these staterooms can accommodate a family of 4, like our suites. Or if you connect one with the other, then you can accommodate a family of 3, 4, 5 to even 6 people. And that's unheard of. Not so many river cruise ships or river cruise lines can offer you this. But again, you see this beautiful picture. Santa Claus will come with a surprise, and it will be the very best evening that you ever have. I guarantee you this. And let's go to the next slide. And from here, we also want to take you to the Rhine River, a different river. Maybe you have been to Prague or to Budapest and have seen the Danube already. Then it's time to look for the Rhine. And similar to the Danube, we will offer you 4 different countries. And this would be Switzerland with the city of Basel, where we have our embarkation. And in Basel, we also have our European office. All our ships are Swiss flagged, which is, we are very, very proud of our heritage. And Basel is also located in the 3-country corner between, it's in Switzerland, but it borders Germany and France. So once we get started in Basel and we visit the city, the Christmas markets, you get a wonderful tour. From there, we will continue to cruise into France, and you will see Reykjavir, a small fairy tale town along the French Vine Road. It is also part of a Disney saga, The Beauty and the Beast. And from Reykjavir, we go to Gengenbach, again in Germany. You see here, the Rhine is actually forming the border between France and Germany. But then the French will say Strasbourg, the capital of the Alsatian region, is not really France. It's similar to what the Germans say Bavaria, or the Bavarians say, we are not really in Germany, we are in Bavaria. So there are certain clusters the people are very, very proud of. But of course, you know, when you go back to the history, this part, the Alsatian region, was always, you know, went from the German hands to the French hands, back to Germany. But now, of course, after all, it is part of France. And then we cruise along the Rhine River and we come into Germany. And we see beautiful cities like Speyer. We have an excursion prepared to Heidelberg with the big university, the longest shopping street in Germany. Heidelberg is on the Neckar River. It's a different river, but it's just 45 minutes away from our docking place, and it's definitely worthwhile to visit. From here, we continue on to Rüdesheim. Rüdesheim, the most famous wine village in Germany. And that's also the area where we are cruising through the Rhine Gorge. You might know the Lorelei. We are seeing hundreds of castles during this stretch. Your cruise manager will talk about the different castles, the history, and then we come through Koblenz, arrive in Cologne. Cologne, famous for one of the biggest, most impressive cathedrals, I have to say. Also wonderful Christmas market. And from there, we are then cruising all the way to Amsterdam in the Netherlands. So now we just show you some slides. That is the old historical area of Basel. You can walk from the ship in about 10 minutes. But of course, we take you also there by bus if you like. The next would be Strasbourg. Depending on if we are docked on the German or the French side, it's about a 15-minute bus ride, or you can also ride it by bike if you like. but I would recommend you in December to take that bus into the city of Strasbourg, also famous for the European Parliament. And then from there, we take you to Gengenbach. Gengenbach in Germany, close to the Black Forest area. One of the smaller cities or villages, but so cozy and personal. And that is the next Christmas mark I have here. And you see the picture here is actually the picture, the city hall that you see. And every evening, the locals are there. A local choir is performing between 5 and 6 o'clock. And then you see these windows. Every window has a number. It's from the number 1 to number 24. That's our Christmas Eve in Germany. And every night, another window will be opened with another beautiful candle that comes. And then, of course, surrounded by festive music. And that is also one of the Christmas markets for me that has one of the most interesting hot drinks for you to indulge. And I don't say more. So let's go to the next slide. And this is the city of Heidelberg that I mentioned, with the big university, the castle. It has the biggest wine barrel also in Germany, which we will show you as part of our included tour. If you like hiking, there is the Philosopher's Pass that you can hike up, having an amazing view over the city and over the river. But you also see this beautiful pyramid here. That's the Christmas market in Heidelberg. And you will need quite some time to shop for your Christmas presents there, guaranteed. Now from Heidelberg, okay, we skip Rüdesheim. Rüdesheim has a smaller Christmas market, but also very, very scenic and romantic. And then we go to Cologne in Germany. And you see the festive cathedral illuminated. There will be choirs again. You hear so much wonderful Christmas music. For if you like to bike, I have actually done it. We had beautiful weather there last year in December. There's a beautiful bike tour where you see additional Christmas markets and not just the market in front of the cathedral, where you can also taste some of the wonderful drinks. And again, different chocolates, hot chocolate, because Cologne is also famous for the chocolate museum, famous for the Milka. Even Milka is a Swiss chocolate, but you see how it's produced there, and so much more. Talking about families again, a beautiful place you can take your grandchildren to. And then we end up in Amsterdam. And while Amsterdam does not have the same Christmas market tradition, it has the Festival of the Lights in December and January. And we have canal boat cruises included for you, some wonderful city walks. It's a fascinating city illuminated during the Christmas time again. Now, some of my, before I come to my insider tips, obviously, again, if 7 nights cruise is too short for you, then we recommend you to extend. As part of our pre and post land extensions, prior to Basel in Switzerland, we have a Rhine cruise where we offer you the city of Lucerne. Lucerne on Lake Lucerne, surrounded by the Alps, is for many, many people the most beautiful city in Switzerland. And of course also Zurich, which is not the capital of Switzerland. It is Bern, actually, the capital, but Zurich is the trade city, is the big city, has the big airport, of course. And the Bahnhofstrasse in Zurich, for me, also has some of the most beautiful Christmas decorations in the world. And then we have our Rhine and Castle itinerary, where we offer you Lake Como. The Lake Como extension brings us to northern Italy, a most beautiful lake district. And then most likely you would fly to Milan. And from Milan, we transfer you then to Lake Como. Absolutely scenic. This extension is new for us in 2021, but our office managers in Basel have checked it all out. We are there in the best hotel. right in the center with the scenic view, so it cannot get better. And of course, if you like to start in Amsterdam, we have everything ready for you. And I also feel it's important that you extend, because you get rid of your jet lag a little bit, because you might have the first 2 nights might be a little bit more difficult for you to sleep. You get just adjusted much better to the time. And of course, there is so much to see. So I mentioned to you these mugs, and now I show you the third one that I have here. When you go and get your cup of Glühwein, you pay for the Glühwein, which is maybe €3, and then you pay about €3 on top of it for the mug. If you bring the mug back, you get your €3 back for the mug, or you get another refill. But if you want to take the mug home, take it home and it's yours for this small amount of money. And I know many of our guests who now have a collection at home. It's wonderful to introduce this to the family, and maybe one night make it a family celebration at home, the different mugs and the different types of Glühwein. And but then of course we never know how the weather is. With the global warming, December has never been that cold in Europe anymore. It's getting more chilly in January and February, but still pack your hats, pack your boots, your scarves, your gloves, and everything to keep warm. Because once you packed and warm, then everything will be just absolutely wonderful for you. And bring your extra piece of luggage, a smaller suitcase maybe that you want to have for your souvenirs, so much that you can really bring home, and your loved ones will enjoy it. Great Christmas presents to have. So of course, we are not just having Christmas celebrations on board. We know that quite a lot of our clients celebrate Hanukkah. And for this, we have a Hanukkah celebration on board as well. We also have many Jewish sites in Budapest, in Vienna, in Prague, and all along the river in Regensburg, which of course partially we will visit. And in your downtime, our cruise managers, our guides will always point out where to go. But very important, we celebrate both types, Hanukkah and Christmas, on board our holiday cruises. And that leads us now to the holidays on the Rhine River in France. Now, this is new for 2021, because usually river cruise lines have offered you Christmas time cruises or holiday cruises on the Rhine or on the Danube. But France can be extremely romantic during this time of the year. And while it doesn't have the same amount of Christmas markets, we have so many illuminated Christmas trees there. We celebrate the traditions in France as well, culinary traditions. And it is in the southern part of France where we also have 4 different famous wine areas. Starting from the south, between Arles and Avignon, there is our Châteauneuf-du-Pape wine region. I would say a Châteauneuf-du-Pape wine, those full-bodied red wines, excellent wines, and can be very expensive. But when you are in Arles or Avignon, you can get the bottles for a great deal. From there, we take you to the Rhine River, and the Côte du Rhône is also a very peppery, full-bodied red wine that you can enjoy there. Then we go up to the city of Lyon, and in Lyon, you can enjoy the Beaujolais wines. There's also the Nouveau Beaujolais tasting in November, when we have a beautiful celebration in Lyon, where all the different vintners are showcasing their wines, and you can get a lot of Beaujolais tastings there. And then from there, we go with the Amacello to the Burgundy region along the Saône River. Now, the Ama Christina, our new ship that we just moved to the Rhine River, has the advantage to offer you beautiful balcony cabins And it's really one of the newest ships we have, but it cannot, the longer ships cannot enter the Saône River. So we will have to stop in Lyon, which is the gastronomical capital of France and almost of entire Europe. Lots to see there. But again, back to your crew members, right? When you come on board, you will be met first by our warm, welcoming crew, singing the Christmas carols for you, with you, and they all just enjoy the holiday time together with you. So let's go to the next. So you see now, of course, the city of Lyon and how festive everything looks here, how nicely illuminated between late November and the middle of January. There will be also some wonderful tastings that we have, culinary tastings that we have prepared in Lyon for you. And of course, also some champagne or wine. And you will be able to admire those crash displays in so many different parts of the Rhone region, the Rhone area. And probably one of my favorite ones you can find in the city of Avignon, but we come later then to Avignon. So let's go to the next. Talking about the culinary traditions. Yes, so many wonderful things that you can eat. The tarte flambée, which is famous for entire France, not just the Alsatian region. Different types of sausages from the Rhine and the Danube area. And it's truly a feast for all the different senses. And we celebrate also with the next slide. Okay, Avignon. So you see the half bridge. So I always say, make sure you do not drink too much of the hot wines or the different wonderful beverages, the Calvados that you can also taste in this part of Europe, because the bridge is not going over the entire river. Just kidding. But it is just a wonderful, wonderful way to get started there. It's a walled-in city, Avignon. You see in this picture the Papal Palace. We have a tour prepared to the Papal Palace for you. But then also the city has so many wonderful streets and shopping areas and restaurants and coffee shops and bars and wine houses. And of course, we are celebrating in France the 13 desserts from all these different types of nuts and almonds and raisins and figs and apricots, dried apricots, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, cranberries, so many wonderful things in this part of France. So, and if you fly to France, then you have to fly, of course, into Paris. And from Paris, you can reach everything in France by TGV, but we are taking you from Paris to Lyon or to Avignon, to Arles. You can, of course, also combine a Rhone River cruise with a Seine River cruise or even a Bordeaux cruise, where the Garonne and the Gironde are meeting together. But we are not doing the Seine and Bordeaux in December, only the Rhone River, but you can very well combine the Rhone River with the Rhine, yeah? Because there is a direct TGV connection going from Basel to Lyon. And of course, there it's about 2.5 or 3 hours. But if you like us to provide a private transfer for you, everything can be arranged depending on all your needs. And if you like to go after we finish in Avignon or in Arles, we can take you also to Barcelona in Spain. And Barcelona, located on the Mediterranean Sea, is of course the fun capital of Catalonia. Again, in Catalonia, they say we are not Spanish anymore. So there's so much controversy there, but always in a fun way. Different types of red wine there. Of course, the Rioja wine, the Cava when it comes to the sparkling, but so much to see in Barcelona, and also a wonderful airport to fly in and out. So now, of course, we are cruising in December, and usually the last cruise of the year is our New Year's cruise, where we like to ring in the New Year together with you with a sparkling gala evening. And the ones who have been on a Christmas or New Year's cruise with us, you know how much value this cruise offers you. These gala events, if you have such an event at home, you will have to spend a lot of money. And now here you can celebrate with your family, with your new friends on board, with your crew. There is no better way to ring in the new year than on a river cruise ship. And there is lots of fireworks actually in, Germany, in Austria, in Hungary. And what better way than to be on your river cruise ship? You can go up to the sun deck to really watch the fireworks, but then you go right away inside again, continue with your culinary delights, with your champagne, dancing, music. We have the biggest party prepared for you. While the locals, they don't have this pleasure. They are all outside. If it's cold, they might be freezing. You are warm in the comfortable environment of your own lounge. So this is really a wonderful way to celebrate. And now I think we want to open it for any questions that you might have.
Yeah, and thank you, Christine, so much. I wanted to mention certainly at this juncture, before we get to the questions, that this is the departure that, and I apologize in advance for having the slides out of order. It should have been Wilshofen to Budapest. Nonetheless, we still absolutely from Christine got the full lowdown on all of those wonderful places. So Diana, as mentioned earlier, this is on the beautiful Ama Magna, which is an incredible ship, nothing like it really anywhere in the world. And that ship will be that departure, December 8th through the 15th. You can do pre or post options, as Christine mentioned, that are available. And again, looking forward to having Diana host that basically a year from now, right? So I wanted to make mention of that. Also, this is the other thing that's going on. There are tremendous opportunities here as it relates to what we call our triple savings on holiday sailings. And these are applicable to Diana's departure, and she has actually a very nice flyer that she can send you. I printed it up here as a PDF that she can email to you, but basically saving you up to $1,000 per person savings, or there's other opportunities for free air or business class air. There's shipboard credit as well. And then on top of that, we just recently introduced for our solo travelers an opportunity to only pay a 25% surcharge, not 50%, not 75%, not double, but only 25%. And as Christine will tell you, we really treat our solo travelers well, right, Christine?
Oh, like family. The first night we welcome our solo travelers to a very special reception with the captain, and to dine with the captain or an officer, because we want to break the ice right from the get-go. So you will get to know your other solo travelers immediately, and we see everyone once and makes friends, and then you go out. But of course, we also respect if you do not like to join this part. It's always whatever you wish, we do it for you. Yeah, we cater to your interest.
Indeed. And so for webinar attendees, if you're not able to do Christmas markets, which we've talked about today, you can book any other 2021 departure or 2022 departure by the end of this month, so another 29 days. And for attending the webinar or watching the video, because this is being recorded, and I'm going to send this to Jill and Diana, and they'll share this, and you can share it with your friends and family. And then make a booking by the end of the month to save an additional $100 per person, right? That's the webinar special, if you will. Let me continue on here. There's free air programs. As mentioned, the free air is applicable as one of the options on Diana's group, and there are other departures that include free air for both folks, or your companion air or business class air. So again, a plethora of deals out there. And certainly what we found, and Christine will echo these sentiments, is we're finding that people do want to now spend a longer period of time, because we've been hunkered down for so long that we feel like, well, when we leave, we're going to go for a longer period. So in that vein and in that idea that we're going to now offer back-to-back cruise savings. So on the second departure, you're going to additional 10% off, right, Christine?
That is absolutely correct. Yes, and we see a lot of, our guests now are taking advantage of this. It's correct. Once you go all the way now, after not being able to travel for almost a year, you just want to enjoy more time over there.
Correct. And so that is also applicable through the end of this month. So the message is book by December 31 for all of these wonderful opportunities and specials. And then icing on the cake, certainly Dimensions in Travel belongs to a very prestigious organization, consortium of agencies, if you will, called Ensemble Travel Group. This offers you additional amenities in the form of shipboard credits, right? So, and they have hosted programs as well. So all in all, just a whole bunch of different, certainly compelling reasons to think about booking by the end of this month. And now, before we get to the Q&A, I'm going to have Christine, I have a little bit of my wine left, but I'm going to have Christine do this toast before we get to Q&A. I love this toast, and I'll, as I say, hand it back to Christine.
I know I'm not doing this with a glass of champagne, but really with my favorite Glühwein mug, like you do, Diana, right? Yes. So please raise your glass. May love and laughter light your days and warm your hearts and home. May good and faithful friends be yours, wherever you may roam. May peace and plenty bless your world with joy that long endures. May all life's passing seasons bring the best to you and yours.
Cheers.
Well, cheers. Prost.
Prost. Beautiful. All right. Love that. Love that. All right. So now, and very importantly, this is how you get in touch with your favorite travel advisor at Dimensions in Travel. There's the 800 number, which is 800-828-2962. You might do potentially a screen print of this particular image. Again, 800-828-2962. You can also contact them via an email at info@dimensionsintravel.com. info@dimensionsintravel.com. Their website is www.dimensionsintravel.com. All right, that's the contact info. And again, as I said earlier, Dinah has a really nice PDF flyer of her hosted group departure that she'd be willing to send for sure. So let's see if we have questions. Let's see. No, I'm just seeing technical issues, technical questions that seem to be solved as people figured out those things, which often happens. I always, when I call IT for a technical issue, first thing they say to me, is it plugged in? And I say, oh yeah, that's right. And so, but Diana, I would like to offer you the opportunity to weigh in here as we wrap up here at about 4 o'clock, an hour of wonderful presenting by Christine. So feel free to jump right in, Diana.
Yeah, well, first of all, I just want to thank both you and Christine for coming on to this program today and taking us on an amazing holiday escape into far, far away from where we all are right now, and where I hope we will all be able to go next year. So thank you so much for the wonderful journey. And if you found any of this Christmas market information interesting, you'd like to know more about it, please feel free to reach out to your favorite Dimensions in Travel consultant or to the info and I'll see that you get matched up with a wonderful travel consultant. But we will continue to bring you these programs that help us keep the spirit of travel alive. And I hope you've enjoyed a little bit of Christmas today with Amur Waterways, Brian, and Christine. So thank you so much. And I hope if you're able to join me on my river cruise next December. I have a son who lives in Prague, so I will be going there early too. If you've ever wanted to go to Prague beforehand, you're welcome to join me too.
Cool. Fantastic. Prague is wonderful. Love it.
Of travel, right? That is
Yes.
right now what everyone likes and wants. The Christmas tree is waiting. So thank
Absolutely.
you so much. Yeah, and happy holidays to all of you.
All right. Happy holidays, everybody. Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
everybody. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye for
Bye.
now. Merry Christmas.